everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another film review. Today, we are going to take a look at One More Shot. IMDb is giving it like
They want you
a,
to rate it. That's what
a,
they're
a,
asking for.
a 5.5, dude. I mean, but they're asking me to rate it. You know what I'm saying? They're asking us to rate it. I think that's a little bit too high.
Yeah, so we gotta talk about this. This movie is a sequel to the One Shot, which is, I guess, like it can directly from the plane landing. It just picks right up and they go into it like from there. And so like when we were watching it, I was like, "What the hell's going on right now? Like, why are they shooting at him? Why is they so mad? Like, who's this guy? Who's that?" So we kind of should have watched the first movie first, but it was fine. We got enough.
But you
There's
know
enough
what?
information.
Even if you watch the
Are
even if you watch the first movie,
you gonna laugh when you say that?
you like even if you watch the first movie and you're like invested in this movie, right? And then here's the sequel, right? One More Shot,
Mm,
which is a corny name for a sequel. It's one shot, one more shot. What's the
well,
sequel gonna
they're
be? Like
putting play on
one
words
more
because
shot?
of the directing
Yeah.
shot style
But the
of it.
thing about it, if you
Whatever.
watch one shot and then you watch one more shot, like one more shot wasn't a great movie. That wasn't a great film. I don't understand that movie at all. It wasn't as bad as The
Uh,
Kitchen, but it
no, no,
wasn't a
not at
great
all, not
movie.
at all.
Yeah.
It, I, I wanted to like it because I like the people in it. Like I like Behringer, he's great. I like Atkins, he's great. He's good. He does good kung fu. I like his
Mhm.
kung fu, and like there's good people in the movie. Like there was good. I looked it up in the first movie. There's good people in that movie too. So I'm like, I wanted to like the movie. I just felt like the movie feels, in my opinion, like they're winging it. Like it's impromptu. Like they're on a Second City stage or something like that, and they're just winging it. Like they don't
Yeah.
have a script. These
It's
these guys are like, say some lines.
yeah.
I can't believe you shot me in the leg. Like that's what it seems like. It doesn't it doesn't feel like there's an actual script because of how they shot it. Like you could tell at a certain point they're just winging it. Like they have no idea
Yeah.
what they're gonna say next.
A lot of it felt like there was a lot of ad lib, and
It's all
also
ad libs.
I don't like the jittery camera action. I'm just like
I hate
it
the
felt like
jittery
a first
camera.
person the jittery camera. I'm just like I don't understand this. The other thing is this: there were so many flaws to this movie. It's so incredibly
Plot is
insane
ridiculous.
that the people who did this movie didn't say, hey, you know what? Let's actually sit down with a real military person and ask him how this stuff works. Let's sit down with a Homeland Security person, an FBI person, and find out exactly how this really works. Because
Yeah, they're winging it. The
how in the
protocols, they're just
world,
winging it, man. How do
no,
I know they're winging it, man? That's ridiculous.
how in the world in America and Canada and Mexico, right, that you can have an airport completely locked down, right?
Mm.
Locked down to the point where people can just flow in with like, just like metaled up, like full metal jacket with guns and like semi-automatic weapons and everything else. And
Nobody's
and
gonna
just
notice.
and just shoot up the entire airport. How does that happen?
Yeah, the fact that nobody noticed, they just shut down the airport. Like that's not a okay. They're in Baltimore. That's not a minor airport. That's a very big airport.
BWI is huge, for real.
It's a hub.
That's
That's
an
not a tiny
international
airport.
airport. Exactly. Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
they got planes coming there from China. Like it's a big deal because it's on the coast. I
In the
just
sh-
it's silly. Or all this is silly.
yeah,
I moved past that because it's an action movie and it's made for Amazon or whatever they did it for. Like
Netflix.
okay,
Yeah. Hmm.
but the acting wasn't the best. And
Oh my
so when you
goodness,
got
no.
bad acting and shaky camera all the time, it just kind of at a certain point just drives you crazy. And like
Yeah.
I like the people in the movie.
Excuse me.
And so I just felt like because they were tied down to shooting this thing in a one long take and trying to blend everything together, it forced you to give and take on stuff that could have probably done like two more shots, like just do it from another angle. You know what I'm saying? Like just do
Yeah.
one more take and change the camera angle like this. Put it on a tripod. Just something. I know I'm being technical and kind of like nitpicky, if you will, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess just,
Y-
I've seen enough. I've been watching action movies since I was a little kid. All right,
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of action movies.
it's
I know what a bad action movie is and what a good
yeah,
action movie is.
right,
And this one, it could have been better had they not been tied down to doing this one take thing.
yeah.
It kind of it forced you into bad decisions and having to do. You got to keep shots that you probably wouldn't have kept if you could done it again and done it from a different angle or just brush up on the script a little bit. Like it's just I don't know. I wanted to like it. I really did, but
This
I couldn't.
no, this joint was this joint was it was kind of dumb. Um, and it felt like the acting. I think I didn't know a lot of people in this flick. You know, I mean, obviously Michael White, Barrington, the other person you were talking about, but like there were a lot of
Mhm.
just like unknowns in this like flick, right?
Yeah,
And
the other people are all randoms.
yeah,
The
and
main people that I like, I expected more out of them. I'll be
right.
honest.
But here's the thing, right? So with those random people, right? The thing about random actors in the film
Mhm.
is they sound random. Like this is my first joint, you know. It's just like so they're speaking, you know, standing up, shoulders, you know, the whole night. I mean, it's just like, dude, really, dude, what are you doing? Like, you don't none of like the entire movie in terms of the acting, all of it for me, you know, all
Mhm.
of the acting for me, it didn't feel natural. It didn't feel natural
Mhm.
at all. It's almost like these people were just like they were like, oh, well, I, this take isn't great, but I'm gonna use it. You know, it's just it just didn't feel
Yeah.
right. You know, and it's just like, and the thing about action flicks for me is I love a really good action flick, and I thought
Mhm.
that this flick would be more like military based, but it wasn't. It was more like Homeland Security, FBI, CIA stuff like that, and it's just like, okay. Um, if this is like the sequel from One Shot, and again, I didn't watch One Shot,
Mhm.
and it's just like even even if it's a sequel, you still need to introduce something to newbies. You know, it's just like this is what this is about. You know,
I think they assumed you saw it already. Like I didn't even know this was a
that
sequel
that's
until
dumb.
I
That's
was like
dumb.
trying to get more information about the movie. And I was like, wait a
Mhm.
minute. Oh, that explains a lot. Like
They
we
didn't.
missed
They
out on the
didn't
first
say that.
movie.
They didn't say it in the trailer either. The sequel for One Shot. You know, they didn't say that either. It was just like,
Yeah, they didn't say anything. I just discovered it by accident, and
yeah,
so I am going to watch it this week,
yeah, One Shot. I'm
and
gonna
I guess
watch
we'll
it.
talk about it in the next review. I'll say a little spurts about it real quick, but
Mhm.
I am holding judgment. Maybe I'll feel better about it because I like Atkins. It's like I like Barrett. Like there's people that I liked in this movie, and
Right.
I felt compelled to like you know what I'll check it out. And like the concept was cool, like the way they just shot it was cool, but for an
Mhm.
action movie like this, it's limited with what they because these guys they're good, but they can't really do kick ass because you can only do the 1-2 takes. They shot this thing like 4 days. That's another thing. They shot it in like 4 days. It was like real
Wait a minute.
quick.
Oh, wait a
Like,
minute.
bro,
Okay.
it's a minute. They had the airport for like a couple days. They didn't have it that long.
Wait a minute, man. I gotta see how much this joint
They shot
costs.
this thing really quickly.
But I'll say this: I know what you're saying, right? But on the strength of just as a person who, you know, this is what we do. We review this stuff, right? Just
I'm
based
just
on
saying
this,
as a
right?
fan, just
But
as a fan, not even a reviewer.
right as a fan, just based on what you've seen. Forget the One Shot, right? Based on what you've
Mhm.
seen, this wasn't a great film. This wasn't great at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like
I
kind of
mean, like, this
hesitate.
was
You're like,
Atkins was in
yeah,
the
but I
John
like
Wick movie.
Atkins and like
He was killer.
Barrington.
He was killer in the last John Wick movie, and he did a phenomenal job. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. Like, he's a badass. I like that dude. He's dope in movies. I like
Yeah,
him.
it's you know
And
what
so like I don't know. I just thought it was
it's
all right.
kind of sad when you like I like Christian Bale, right? Great,
Mm,
phenomenal actor, right?
mm.
But what he does is same with like Denzel Washington and also a lot of people, right? They they get to like select exactly what they want to do. And the reason why they do that is because these people, these actors and actresses, they're in a place where what they do is art, right? And so what they want to do is they want to create. They have a blank canvas, so they want to create something totally different. They want to do something totally different. They want to act in a totally different and interesting, whimsical, whatever sort of film, right? I think like when you have actors who did really great stuff in a previous film and then they do like junk like this, it just it's almost like Bruce Willis when he did Cosmic Sin. You obviously got a bag for that to do that,
Yeah,
you know?
he just took the check. I don't
You
I
s-
don't
you
I don't know.
right, but do you
I want
sacrifice
to.
but do you sacrifice and that's what I'm saying like it feels like, a lot of these like you're talking about Atkins, Barrington, whatever, right? At
Mhm.
some point it feels like you're sacrificing your art just for the bag. It's just like, I mean,
I mean, like Atkins is like he does B movie action movies, like
okay, B
something that would
movies.
be in the back of aisle of Blockbuster. Like that's his thing. That's his lane.
You said
Like, I'm
Blockbuster.
being real here. Like as much as I like him,
Don't forget the
I
late
watched
fee.
him in some terrible movies. And I'm just like, oh, he's still my guy, man. But like he's a like a B actor or whatever. Like this is he does action movies that go straight to video. Like
Mhm.
it's not supposed to be in theaters, and he's a beast though. I like him. I like his fighting style. I think he's good, and so it's not like a knock on him. Like get your check, man. Pay your bills. Like I watch these movies anyway, so
Right.
like I don't feel bad about it or whatever. But I'm just saying that it I this movie could have really used a polish on the script and a couple more, maybe a month or two on more filming,
Yeah.
and then, they could have had the action could have been a little bit better. Like this guy fell like 2 stories off of a escalator and just walked away. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, I know you trying to play like, I'm a little hurt, but no, you weren't. Like, you're fine. Like,
See
you should be fine. You should
his
be hurting right now.
his a really weird. Okay. You said he felt like,
He fell
yes,
two
he felt
stories,
like he
bro.
felt exactly,
He
dude.
he kicked that black dude with the goatee kicked him 2 stories off of a building
I'm
on the
telling
lower
you,
of the
yo,
escalator.
when I was younger, I tripped. I was just walking like from school. I was
Mhm.
young. I think I was like 10 or 11, right? And
Mhm.
the pavement was like there was one of the pavement like blocks that was like higher than the others, and I just wasn't concentrating, and I tripped on that, and I like fell on a like pavement, but slid
Mhm.
right, and so my entire face slid on the pavement, right.
Oh,
So this entire
oh.
part of my face was screwed up. I was like out of school. I was out of school for like 2 months. I was like, Mom, I can't go to school. Look how I look. And
Yeah.
so for me to like just trip over something and be out of commission for a little bit, this guy felt like, he got kicked in the face and then fell on concrete
Yeah,
and
I
was
was
still okay.
saying.
Here are two things that are
Oh.
really screwed up about this film, right? First of
Mhm.
all, you probably could have taken maybe 20 minutes away. This should have been like an hour and 30 minutes for real. You know,
Mhm.
the second thing about this film is it actually has good bones. I mean, there's
Yeah,
something
the
there.
premise is good.
Yeah,
The idea is good, like, this guy did a thing, and you gotta get the
right.
information, like,
It wasn't
all that's good.
the execution was all wrong. It's just like, okay, if you're gonna have this, like, it's almost like, and again, I have to like refer back to stuff I've watched before, we've watched before. And
Mhm.
this is an animated joint, but in like Ghost in the Shell, like SAC 2045, like
Mhm.
these almost like these other sort of government agencies was attacking them, right? But dude, the way they had it locked down, the way they thought about how they're gonna do things, they were outnumbered. You know what I'm saying? Here,
Yeah.
in like one more shot, his team was like outnumbered. These people who were Americans, and that's the other thing. I thought who was coming to get Amir or whatever his name is. I thought they were like Arabic or whatever, right? These people were like
Yeah, this is a
Americans.
regular
Yeah,
contractor.
you know.
I think it was too many contractors, and I think it would've been better if the airport was open, and so they're doing the cat and mouse thing by
Running
hiding what the
around the
airport
airport with people there,
walking
you know
around
what
the
I'm
airport with
saying?
people in there. But,
Yeah,
like, like, that's a budget thing, like, you
that's a
can't get all these
budget. Yeah.
people to be extras and stuff, so that's fair. I'm just
Mhm.
saying it would have been better had them be hiding in a live airport with real people in there. Because like that happened in Mission Impossible, the last one.
Yeah.
It was the Dead
Yeah.
Reckoning,
That
whatever
was
the last
yeah,
one was.
that
He
was
was in the
pretty
airport.
dope too, right?
Yeah, but
I
that
saw
was
that
dope
about
though
3
because
weeks
he had
ago. That
the
was pretty dope.
doing the cat and mouse thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't a million soldiers on there. You're not gonna bring a million soldiers. Like you're gonna have like 10
With
people at
guns, you're not
best.
going to do that. Yeah, no.
At
You make a good
best,
point.
you
You
can
make
have
a good
10
point.
people.
You make a good
It would
point.
not be that many.
That's
I
a
mean, if you're in Afghanistan, maybe you have like 40 people
right.
at best. You don't have a million
You
people
said
at an airport. That's
Afghanistan.
ridiculous. To get one guy, come on, man, stop it. And
that that
nobody knows you're there. Like, come on, that's overkill.
that's
You would
overkill.
have at best 10 people at best, and one of them's a
And,
driver.
and the other thing is, so they were in a totally different section of the airport, but they locked down the entire airport. They had to the media was 3 miles away. You make a very good point though, right? Because it's like, excuse me, you said this movie was shot in 4 days.
It was
There
quick.
was
I don't know if it's 4 days exactly, but it was short. It was very short.
there
It wasn't long.
obviously was some budget constraints because for you to say, okay, I only have 4 days of money, or I can only do this, I
Mhm.
mean, if it was shot in 4 days and then took like a few weeks to edit or whatever, that's kind of brilliant on its own, right?
Yeah, I don't knock it for that.
Yeah,
I do think that the movie it would have been helped greatly if they had like a couple
right.
weeks extra.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Just a couple more days on set to fix things.
yeah, I'm gonna
Or
say they didn't have the budget. Because again, this was it was just kind of goofy for me, man. It was kind of dumb. It was just like we saw I can't remember the film, but it was almost like this, but it wasn't in an airport. It was just like, but this person was running around. Obviously, when you're running around the city, you're not doing this in American cities. You're not doing this in Canadian cities. You're not even doing this in Mexico or Mexican cities.
if
You're
you
doing this in
ran through
Europe,
airport up here, they're gonna shut that thing down. It's gonna be nothing but people shooters
dude.
on the
You know what
windows
I'm
looking
saying,
at you.
right? So I think again, the bones are there for the movie, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think they just missed on a lot of points. I think it may have been budget or whatever, but this is
Well, I
this franchise. I mean, I'm gonna check out One Shot just to see what it's all about. But I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't
yeah. I'm
understand
I'm
this.
interested because I like the people, but I feel
Mhm.
like the scale was too big. And then like
Or
the
was it too
girls with
small? You think it was too big, or was it too small?
I think this is too big. It should have been like more cat and mouse thing with a couple people hiding in between the real airport. That would have been more interesting. Yeah, like it
Mhm.
was like five contractors, and there's some guys in the car waiting for them to get back, and they're just gonna snatch him up, and it's just the one guy by himself, and he's trying to get help. Like that to me that'd been more interesting. But like you had the FBI there, you had Secret Service there, you had all kind of people there. It was like too
Yeah.
much on
Okay.
both sides. It
Mhm.
wasn't as interesting as it could be. They were it was too much.
I
And
think
then like
we're talking about the
that
same thing.
yeah, and then the girl that was she was
The
the
rogue.
mole,
Yeah,
the
she was the
rogue.
rogue.
When she was interrogating the guy and like she was yelling at him, I laughed so hard.
She was
I'm
like,
sorry.
she was
I
stabbing him
laughed.
like with an ice pick.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
they were like, yeah. I'm not supposed to laugh, but bro,
dude.
I laughed so hard because her
See, this
voice
is
is
what
so
I'm
high.
saying. This is
So
like
it's not
so
intimidating.
so you know what Amazon Prime Video has? They have a lot of D-list, B-list, C-list, F-list,
Yeah,
F-list type
sure.
movies like this, where the acting is just so bad. It's just like, okay, Mary wants to be an actor. Here's a movie, and it's just like your flow is not she had no flow. I mean, she
Yeah,
didn't
like
feel
yeah,
natural,
I'll put it like this, right? When she was trying to get the location of the thing,
Yeah,
the thing in the
the
box,
bomb.
where I don't want to say it 'cause it mess up the
Yeah.
algorithm, but like she's looking for the thing, right? Okay,
Mhm.
so she had an option of shooting him or shooting the wife, and she was like, "I'm just gonna point this at you and yell, what? No, you
Mhm.
wouldn't." You would have shot her already. Like, you don't care about her.
Mhm.
That would have you would have just done it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like, hey, give it to me. I
The
promise I'm gonna do this thing. Like, no, you would have just done it. Like, what are you talking about here?
the
You don't
other
care about her.
the
Like,
the
this
other
is silly.
thing that sort of turned me off with this film was, and we're gonna wrap this up. But
Mm,
when it was like the woman, the pregnant woman with her husband who was the terrorist, and she was like
mm.
she had them both hemmed up, and she was like, hit her in the stomach. When she said that, I was like, when she said that on the real, yo, Keo, on the real, when she said that, I said,
Bro,
see,
I
I really
laughed.
can't watch a movie like that for real. I
I
can't,
laughed so
right?
hard
That
because
was
it's like,
something, but
yeah,
that's sort of something that's like, I mean, regardless of how ruthless you want to be, right? That's just
mm,
something you do not put in movies. You're gonna like in a movie, you're gonna say, hit a pregnant woman in the stomach. I know this is art, but is it really art when you're talking about like, you know, hitting a woman
but
in the belly when she's pregnant? I mean, that
it
turned me
was
off. I was like, I'm not
ridiculous
into
because
this.
I'm saying it was ridiculous because it came from her.
Right.
If it was one of the other, like the guy with the goatee or the white guy with the beard, if
Right.
he had said it, I would have been like, man, these guys look like douchebags. I can see that. But like the lady saying it, like it was like, ah, come on, man, like you're not gonna do
And
that.
the other
Like,
thing is, why even say it? Just like, just nod your head. Next thing you know, he's like beating up this woman. But like it's in the pregnant woman, I don't know what her deal was. It was just like this movie needed to be an hour and 30 minutes. And this
she
Netflix
shouldn't have
is
been
not
in the
doing well with
movie.
stuff like this, man.
They should have done was have her at the house tied up, and they have a video footage of, hey, we're gonna do something to you, but you don't know. That would have been better
Like the
than
stuff
have
you
her
see
there
what
walking around while you,
terrorists do. They put you in,
yeah,
they hook you up, put a
got
video
you in the
like
house.
grainy, like 720 video.
You got a
you
battery, and
know?
they're like, "Yo, we're gonna
Right.
attach this. Yo, what's up?"
Yo, yeah,
Like,
it
do
was stupid,
something.
man. It was
It would have
like
been better if you just got footage on a cell phone. Like, hey,
they
we're gonna
took
make this happen. Like,
right.
yo,
They took nothing that has been in the news over the last 10 years about terrorism, stuff like that. They took none of those cues and put it in this movie and figured out how they were going to do this. They wanted to be, it felt like this movie tried to be so creative with the jittery camera and like almost like the first person, thingy going on. And it just didn't work. This movie was dumb, dude. I don't even want
but like,
to yeah, it
problem
was
with the
dumb.
jittery cam, they have to do it that way because if they're trying to do the one single shot take thing, and like, so you're tied down in a way to this thing, this style of film.
Mhm.
And like it, I like the idea. Like parts of it should have been in one take. Like when you're in the car and they started it, they could have done sections of it in one take. That would have been cool. And then parts of it were just locked down on camera. But like you limit yourself with the ability because you only have this little budget.
Yeah.
Because like, did
It's a
you
small
remember
budget.
the movie 1917?
Yes.
Uh, with the is it Mendez that shot it? I think it's Mendez. But
Hmm.
it's a one take movie, right? But
Hmm.
they cut in sections, whatever. But like that action is phenomenal
It's dude.
because they have a budget of like
Wait,
hundred
wait,
something
wait. You're
million
talking
dollars.
about 1917, the military movie.
Yes,
Oh,
the World
dude.
War One movie.
Um,
But the budget was like 100 something
yeah.
$1 million,
That,
and it
but
showed it looked like
but you know
$100 million.
what? But that was a foreign film.
I
You know what I'm saying?
guess
That was a
this
foreign film,
Mexican
dude.
movie, like what is this British
That was a
Mexican
great
movie?
film. I'm telling you, man. So we are talking about One More Shot. This is a Netflix film. Keo, what are you gonna rate this film?
Like a 4?
Be honest.
I didn't. Okay, here's the thing. I know you hated it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't think it was
Mhm.
great either.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those movies I'm never gonna watch again. But like I liked some of the people in it, and I'm rooting for them. And so like I don't know. I didn't think it was the worst thing of all time, but I just like my critiques. It needed a little bit more money, and needed a couple more months. And if they had that, it probably would have been better executed. Because some of these takes, I'm like, come on, man, that's the best you could do. Like, no, it's
Running
not the
through like
best.
Like half the movie, yeah. Okay, listen. So you're giving it a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. It's a
Okay,
4.
so I am gonna give the movie also a 4, right? Now, I didn't
Mhm.
hate the film. I try not to like me as a person, I don't hate anything. I think hate is a weird word, so I don't use that.
Mhm.
But I gave it a
Mhm.
4. And remember, I gave like the kitchen like a 1, right? I gave it a
Yeah.
4 because the movie actually has really good bones, right? It
Yeah, there's
really
moments in there that are good. They're
it
solid.
really it really does. Like, my disappointment was that you have a film here with really good bones, and it's you've seen films like this before, but at least you had
Mhm.
good bones here. I just think that the way it was put together, the way it was shot, everything else, it just screwed everything up. I think like it's almost like if you had like Foundation from Apple TV and I was just screwed up in terms of production and everything else. And also, let's not forget that sometimes as a director or as a showrunner, whatever, you see your flaws in a specific season or a sequel, and then you're going to make
Mhm.
something else to follow up with that. You tend to do a better job. So I don't know if there's going to be a sequel here or not. I think the film has really good bones. They just need better direction and probably an increase in the budget so you can get some more people, some
It's
more names up there. You can
a
also like
little bit
shoot it.
a little bit more money. You
Yeah,
could have
shoot it
got some
longer, the
better
whole
actors
nine.
for
You
certain
can
things,
exactly. You can
better
shoot it
talking
longer, the
roles.
whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't dislike the film. I just think
Mhm.
that it could have been so much better. And
Yes.
if it
Yeah.
were an hour and 30 minutes long, I probably would have given it a 6. Just putting it
Mhm.
out there.
No, it's not terrible. There's good parts to it.
Yeah.
Like, the premise is okay. The idea of, like, certain, like, scenes that were just shot in one take, that was okay.
Yeah.
And there's certain scenes that work, and there's scenes that do not work.
Yeah.
The interrogation scene did not work for me.
No.
I laughed at that. I
Yeah.
laughed for hours after that
Mhm.
movie was over. And, like, there's other parts, like, with the shootouts and stuff like that probably would have been better if you had a little bit more time to do it. But, it was okay. It
Yeah, it
wasn't
was okay.
terrible. I would like to watch the first movie
I'm gonna
though.
watch the first movie
I
for
wanna
sure.
I'm gonna watch the first
And
movie.
let's not
I'm
forget,
gonna I'll see it.
about 20 or 30 minutes of the movie was shot in the stairwells. So they were shooting like on steps, basically.
Yeah.
So that was
So
like, come on. That's pretty ridiculous, man. Keo,
yeah.
you gave we both gave One More Shot a 4.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
I think to sum it up, it has good bones, it just needs better direction, basically, right?
Yeah, it needs more time and money. That's what
Yeah.
it needs.
There
So
you
I
have
guess and
it.
then
Time
that
and money.
implies better direction.
Right, exactly. Time and money. There you have it. Well,
Yeah.
there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
Alright.